Okay, undone the leads on the DEQs. These will be installed into the other rack in the kitchen. Maybe on the insert point on the THX sound system. Can't doing this well sat down, just relaxing. Only got a couple of screws to undo. And then I've got to shuffle these down a bit lower. And then see what I've got spare in the rack, but I don't know, I'll see how it goes. Still testing, pre-testing, so that's Star Trek to the Rapicon going through that. I might have some cable, I might be able to make an 8-channel lead up going from the output, DB25 connector output. Okay, that's done now, and I have to just pull them out the rack. That's that. Next, got to shuffle these down, because the 750 will go up here. Won't be able to put the CP750 in, although I could install it directly in, because all I have to do is just make a DB25 connector lead up, and I could probably undo here temporarily, and then connect onto the auxiliary number 2, and then connect onto auxiliary 2. So cinema processors are very complicated things. So that's indicating next preset to press auxiliary 2, but there's no sound going through it at the moment because the networking is not on the zoned out 2. And there's no, because I'm on PC computer at the moment. So that's going through the Sony SDDS's non-sync, its own 424 matrix. So it's a very complicated system. I've got very complicated THX cinema. So that's one bit installed. I've just got to tighten the screws on it. That's one of the DCXs installed. Makes it a little bit awkward here, I must say, because looking at the display now, it's because they're going to be a little bit lower down. So it's just going to make it just a tiny problematic, but all I have to do is just sit over here and then I can program them. It's not a problem. Okay, that's my left center, right center DEQ in. That's my left center, right. That's my left center, right center, and LFE sub. That's the other LFE sub, DCX, as well as bass shakers. Okay, that's fitted in. Okay, connect up the power lead and the optical lead now. Okay, that was partly an easy install. I just got to make sure, I just got to check through everything that I've not pulled a cable out of place in the B chain. This is called the B chain, and it's very complicated. Most people have AVRs, amplifiers, but this is a professional cinema B chain, and it's pretty complicated.
Captain Spock, damage report. I read you, Captain. What's happening?
I kind of get the understanding of the fluctuation of the signal, because it's kind of like it's like when looking at the SVA, and it's stereo variable area, and it's kind of moving sort of like this, or the signal's modulating. I've got some DB25 connectors, male, female, a few more of them. I've also connected the BNC. I think I connected the BNC on the back, so I can connect a coaxial. So I've got additional input. So you've got coaxial, you've got AES, and you've got optical input. And you know, this is not for 35mm use, because sadly phased out. So that's partly that install, and that's only playing non-sync on the zone 3 out on the and that's going from the Panasonic UB9000 THX. So turning the fader up, nothing happens because it's not connected yet. It's interesting, all the CP processors. For a moment I thought that was a touchscreen.
What's the delay?
All is well, sir. You have the coordinates to beam up Genesis.
First things first.
As we know, references. So that'll be connected to a computer. I'm not sure if it will. I'm not sure if it will talk or handshake with my computer. But I've got a laptop that's coming that'll be here in the next couple of days or so. And then I'll be able to connect that to the laptop, and I'll have a remote software on the other laptop, because I haven't got any other. Although I have got I think one laptop that may talk. I'm not sure if it would. That's the thing with these things, you know. Getting a handshake with some sort of piece of crikey, you know, you can connect a CP500, a 200, a 45, a CP5565, a CP100, very rare. Probably not the best processor made. Probably only was around for a short while, and then the CP200 was made in 1980. The 100 came around during probably 1976, I think, maybe 75 or 76. So the CP200 superseded, because the CP200 is the Rolls Royce, the 747. This looked like it came off the back end of a lorry. I'm not kidding. It looks so brand new. And yeah, it was very, very cheap. As soon as I bought it, everyone else, suddenly, there were about, I don't know how many people watching, probably curious, or, you know, and then as soon as I bought it, within 24 hours, all the rest of the last 3 of them sold out. Boom. So maybe some bought them for home use, or some bought them for maybe a DCP was it DCI cinema, private home cinema. I was thinking of getting something like that, but not really into it. 35mm is just too much costly now, because I should have bought it when it was offered for £250. When you get a nice Victoria 5 in pristine condition for a cheap price, because it's either that goes to someone that's going to goes to a good home or whatever, or it goes into a skip. Gosh, unbelievable. And then broken down for the metal, and then scrap for metal. But digital cinema doesn't, projectors, they don't last long. They only last a few years, and then they're just thrown out. They end up on eBay, and hardly anyone wants to touch them with a barge pole, including myself, because it's all 1080p or 4K whatever, and no one wants to touch it. No one wants to touch it. Maybe a few want to touch it, but and often they sell pretty cheap. But I should have brought that Cinemacanica and a cake parlour and all the other things that went with it. And I've actually worked on a Cinemacanica Vic 5 back in my first projection day at UCI Cinema. But it just means putting another hole in the wall, and it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't. I would have it, but I wouldn't, because it just means climbing underneath the bloody projector just to get to the kitchen sink or the washing machine or the fridge. That's just a little bit ridiculous. But it was doable. So I kind of opted it out. Plus, collecting film itself is not cheap, and film doesn't last. And even still, the amount of film cans that will stack up will just be ridiculous. They will just overwhelm in next to no time. I'll be climbing over it. So I thought, nah, it just won't. If I had a bigger home, yeah. And film has to be kept under controlled temperature all year round. Keep it okay for humidity, hot temperatures, heat waves. Otherwise, it will just get totally wrecked, and then it's no use. So it's just like everything, keep optical discs out of direct sunlight. Otherwise, it won't do them any good. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find some cable and connect it up. That will take quite a while, because even though it's no soldering to be done, it's I got to double check all the wiring and follow the continuity, pin to pin, wire to wire, and then it should all connect up, and hey presto.